In the dim light of the central conference room aboard the Galactic Council's flagship, Omniscientia, representatives from various star systems gathered, their features flickering in the holographic display. The air buzzed with low murmurs of multiple alien dialects, anticipation hanging thickly amongst them. Today, a groundbreaking presentation was scheduled by Dr. Zelnox, a renowned Zerbian scientist known for his eccentric theories and revolutionary discoveries. As the clock struck the designated hour, Dr. Zelnox floated to the center of the room, his gelatinous body shifting colors to a calm shade of blue, signaling his readiness to begin. The chatter subsided, and all eyes, or other sensory organs depending on the species, focused on him. "Ladies, gentlemen, and esteemed beings of all variations," Dr. Zelnox began, his voice amplified to reach every corner of the room. "Today I bring forth findings that will not only redefine our understanding of the Milky Way, but potentially alter our interactions with one of its most underestimated species, humans." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Humans, a relatively young species in the galactic community, were often overlooked due to their less advanced technology and seemingly primitive social structures. Dr. Zelnox continued, his voice tinged with excitement. "After extensive research spanning decades and involving hundreds of planets, it has become evident that humans are the most fertile creatures in our galaxy." Screens around the room lit up, displaying charts and graphs with comparative analyses of reproductive rates, genetic adaptability, and survival ratios. Dr. Zelnox pointed to a graph that showed a steep curve labeled human population growth. "This graph," he explained, "illustrates the exponential population growth of humans over just a few centuries. Such fertility and rapid adaptation to diverse environments are unmatched by any other known species." The audience was visibly shocked. A Mergan delegate, a creature with 6 eyes and a body covered in reflective scales, buzzed its translator device to ask, "Are you suggesting that this fertility makes them a threat?" "Not a threat per se," Dr. Zelnox clarified, shifting his hue to a soothing green. "Rather, an opportunity. Imagine harnessing this adaptability and growth for galactic benefit. Humans could be key in colonizing hostile planets or rehabilitating ones we've deemed uninhabitable." An Ixian scholar, its form barely visible to the naked eye, whispered audibly, "Fascinating. Their biological resilience could provide insights into longevity and disease resistance for other species." "Yes, exactly," Dr. Zelnox exclaimed. "Furthermore, their diverse genetic makeup suggests a vast potential for biotechnological applications. From medical advancements to enhancing agricultural yields on barren worlds, the possibilities are immense." The room buzzed with renewed chatter as representatives began to see humans in a new light. Discussions broke out in small groups, with various aliens debating the potential policies regarding human interaction. Dr. Zelnox concluded his presentation with a final compelling statement. "Let us not underestimate the potential of humanity. Instead, let us embrace it and integrate it into our galactic agenda. The future could very well depend on our partnership with this vibrant and prolific species." As applause echoed through the Omniscientia, the meeting adjourned with many leaders deep in thought. The revelation about human fertility had indeed shocked them, but it had also opened doors to myriad possibilities that could shape the future of the galaxy. Outside the conference room, stars twinkled against the vast black canvas of space, a silent testament to the endless opportunities that awaited. On the lush, verdant planet of Thryallis, a summit was hastily convened. As word of Dr. Zelnox's findings spread, leaders and diplomats from numerous systems arrived, eager to discuss the implications of human fertility on their strategic alliances and projects. The atmosphere was charged with a mix of curiosity and caution, reflecting the diverse mentalities and agendas of the gathered species. In a sprawling amphitheater built under the canopies of bioluminescent foliage, emissaries from Earth were invited to participate. They arrived, a small delegation of humans with calm demeanors but keen eyes, fully aware of the gravity of their species' newfound position in the galaxy. Ella Thompson, Earth's chief diplomat, took the podium. "We are honored by your interest and ready to explore potential collaborations," she said, her voice clear and confident. The translators worked overtime, ensuring every nuance of her speech was understood across the myriad linguistic divides. A representative from the aquatic planet Hydronics raised a tentacle, its voice bubbling through the water helmet it wore. What assurances can Earth provide that their expansion and fertility will not overrun our cultures or ecosystems? It asked, a question on many minds. Ela responded thoughtfully, Earth has learned hard lessons about the balance of expansion and sustainability. We propose a joint council to oversee any collaborative projects, ensuring that all actions are mutually beneficial and ecologically sound. The suggestion sparked a flurry of whispers around the amphitheater. A joint council could serve as a model for interspecies cooperation, potentially leading to a more integrated approach to galaxy-wide issues. Meanwhile, an ambitious proposal came from the delegates of the technologically advanced planet Technos 4. We have the means to enhance and harness this fertility scientifically. A sleek, metallic being proposed. Imagine creating new life forms tailored to specific tasks and environments, accelerating the terraforming of planets. This idea, however, received mixed reactions. The ethical implications of genetically engineered life forms were a contentious topic. An elder from the spiritual planet of Elysia spoke up, its voice a soothing melody. We must consider the moral aspects of such actions. Life, in all its forms, should be respected and not merely engineered as tools. As the debate intensified, Ela suggested a pilot program on a small, uninhabited planet. Let's start small. A test environment where we can study these technologies and approaches with minimal risk. If successful, we can expand slowly, with continuous oversight and ethical reviews. The proposal was met with nods and murmurs of agreement. A resolution was drafted, outlining the creation of a new multi-species task force to oversee the pilot program. It was a delicate balance of interests, but for the first time, there was a tangible sense of unity among the diverse galactic powers. As the summit drew to a close, the representatives prepared to return to their respective planets, armed with new agreements and a cautious optimism. The potential for human involvement in galactic affairs had opened a myriad of possibilities, but it also posed significant challenges that would require careful collective navigation. Back on Earth, news of the summit's outcomes was met with a mix of pride and apprehension. Humanity was stepping onto a larger stage, and the eyes of the galaxy were now keenly focused on them, watching to see how a once underestimated species would influence the cosmic dance of civilizations. Months after the summit, the designated pilot planet, dubbed New Gaia, was bustling with activity. Situated at the edge of the Milky Way, its harsh terrain and uninhabited land made it an ideal testbed for the collaborative effort. The multi-species task force had established a base encased in a transparent dome, allowing them to work in their respective atmospheric needs while observing the environment outside. Dr. Mara Kinley, one of Earth's leading geneticists, was overseeing the terraforming modules. Her team, composed of both humans and several alien specialists, was tweaking the biogenic processors that would adapt the planet's soil to support Earth-like vegetation. Beside her, a Draylan engineer, a species known for their precision and analytical minds, adjusted the settings on a device that emitted low-frequency vibrations to encourage microbial growth in the soil. Adjustment complete. We should see an increase in microbial efficiency by approximately 17.3%, the Draylan noted, its voice a series of clicks and whirs translated smoothly by Mara's headset. Excellent, Mara replied, checking the data on her holographic display. Let's monitor the nutrient cycles closely. We need a stable base before introducing higher plant forms. Meanwhile, outside the safety of the dome, exploration teams were surveying the land, mapping out areas where water sources could be established and identifying mineral deposits. The diversity of the teams allowed for a wide range of sensory inputs. Some could detect electromagnetic fields, others could analyze chemical compositions by taste or smell, making the survey remarkably efficient. In orbit around New Gaia, a sleek research vessel served as the project's command center. Here, Ela Thompson communicated regularly with both the teams on the surface and the Galactic Council, providing updates and ensuring that the ethical guidelines agreed upon were strictly followed. One day, a significant discovery shifted the course of their efforts. A team exploring a series of underground caverns stumbled upon a natural reservoir of water, a rarity on New Gaia. This reservoir could potentially support aquatic life forms, offering a chance to test the integration of hydronics biotechnologies. The news brought excitement and a rush of proposals on how to proceed. After much debate, it was decided to introduce genetically modified algae, designed by hydronic scientists, that could thrive in the harsh conditions of New Gaia while purifying and oxygenating the water. As months turned into years, New Gaia began to transform. The barren landscape slowly gave way to patches of greenery, and the once sterile air started to fill with the buzz of engineered insects, pollinating the newly grown plants. Back on Earth and other planets, live feeds of New Gaia's transformation were broadcast, capturing the imagination and hope of countless beings. Schools used these feeds for educational purposes, while policymakers analyzed them to plan future colonization efforts. Amidst this scientific renaissance, ethical debates continued to wax and wane. Philosophers and ethicists from Elysia frequently visited New Gaia, engaging the scientific team in discussions about the moral implications of their work. These dialogues often extended into the night, held under the soft glow of New Gaia's artificially enhanced moonlight, ensuring that every step taken was weighed with careful thought and consideration. As New Gaia flourished, it became a symbol of what could be achieved through interstellar cooperation. However, the true test still lay ahead. Whether this beacon of unity could endure the complexities of galactic politics and the inherent unpredictability of playing with the building blocks of life. 3 years into Project Gaia, its success was celebrated at the Interstellar Symposium on Velta Prime, a neutral planet known for its grand libraries and historical archives. Here, the brightest minds from across the galaxy convened to discuss the advancements and future directions of interspecies collaboration. The symposium was held in the Great Hall, a structure famous for its ceilings painted with the skies of 1,000 worlds, each star meticulously placed according to its actual galactic position. During the symposium, Dr. Mara Kinley presented the genetic engineering techniques developed for New Gaia. She detailed the precise genetic modifications that enabled plants to thrive in low-nutrient soils, and the creation of insect species that could survive in the new ecosystem without disrupting its delicate balance. Through these innovations, Mara explained, projecting images of lush greenery and buzzing insects, we've not only revived a dead world, but have laid a blueprint for sustainable terraforming. Her presentation was met with applause, but also with a series of challenging questions from the delegates. A scientist from the desert world of Sarin raised concerns about the long-term impacts of introducing engineered species into a closed ecosystem. How can we ensure that these modifications will not evolve beyond our control? He questioned, voicing a common fear of unintended consequences. Mara responded with data from their latest monitoring reports, showing stable ecological cycles and no signs of genetic drift in the modified organisms. We have implemented multiple safeguards, including genetic fail-safes that prevent reproduction beyond controlled conditions, she assured the assembly. While the scientific community focused on discussions of ecology and genetics, political undercurrents flowed through the symposium. The success of New Gaia had sparked a race among several star systems to fund similar projects, hoping to claim new worlds and expand their influence. Ella Thompson found herself navigating a complex web of diplomatic talks and secret negotiations. In one such meeting, hidden from the public eye and shielded from surveillance, representatives from the powerful Androxian coalition made a discreet proposal to Ella. "We appreciate Earth's pioneering spirit," began the lead Androxian, his voice smooth and persuasive. "However, we believe that the future of terraforming should be governed by a more centralized authority, under the guidance of the coalition." Ela, accustomed to the intricacies of interstellar diplomacy, recognized the offer for what it was, a power play. "While we value the coalition's leadership," she replied carefully, "we must advocate for a decentralized approach to ensure that no single power can dominate these new worlds. It is important that these projects remain a collective effort." The Androxian's eyes narrowed slightly, the only sign of his disappointment. "I urge you to reconsider, Miss Thompson. The stability of these projects might depend on a unified strategy. As the symposium continued, these secretive conversations echoed in the quieter corners of Velta Prime. Alliances were tested, and new pacts were formed in hushed tones, reflecting the shifting dynamics of power. Meanwhile, the ethicists from Elysia hosted panels discussing the philosophical implications of terraforming and genetic manipulation. "Are we playing gods?" one panel posed to a room packed with delegates. These discussions were passionate and diverse, reflecting the deep concerns many still held about the moral dimensions of altering life itself. As the symposium drew to a close, the achievements of New Gaia stood as a testament to human ingenuity and the potential for universal cooperation. Yet the shadows of political ambition and ethical dilemmas lingered, promising that the path forward would be as contested as it was celebrated. Back on New Gaia, the progress continued at a steady pace, with the project now entering its critical phase. The introduction of higher life forms was the next major step, and scientists were meticulously planning which species to introduce and how to ensure the ecosystem remained balanced. Dr. Mara Kinley and her team were working on adapting Terran mammals to the new environment. They had successfully introduced small rodents, which were thriving. Now, they were preparing for the introduction of larger herbivores. Meanwhile, a team of hydronics biologists was developing aquatic life forms suitable for the planet's newly established water bodies. Amidst this scientific flurry, an unexpected signal was intercepted by the Orbital Command Center. It was a coded transmission, originating from deep within the planet's uncharted northern hemisphere, a region that had not been designated for any current projects. Suspicion grew as analysts decrypted the signal, revealing it to be from an unknown faction. Ella Thompson convened an emergency meeting with the task force leaders. "We have detected unauthorized activity in the northern hemisphere. Our priority is to investigate and ensure it does not compromise the project." A reconnaissance team composed of a mix of Earth's finest and volunteers from allied species was dispatched. They traveled in a sleek, unmarked craft to avoid detection, skimming the planet's surface under the cover of darkness. Upon arrival, they discovered a hidden base, camouflaged to blend with the rocky terrain. The base was well equipped, suggesting significant resources and advanced technology. The team moved cautiously, their senses heightened as they approached. Inside the base, they found a mix of species, including several Androxians. It quickly became clear that this was not just a rogue operation, but an orchestrated effort with high-level backing. The Androxians were conducting unauthorized experiments, accelerated genetic modifications, and unapproved life forms designed to adapt rapidly to New Gaia's environment. Ella, watching the live feed from the reconnaissance team, realized the gravity of the situation. This wasn't just a breach of protocol. It was a direct challenge to the collaborative ethos that New Gaia represented. "We need to shut this down immediately and secure all data," she instructed, her voice steely. The task force acted swiftly. With precise coordination, they infiltrated the base, neutralizing the security systems and apprehending the personnel involved. Data was extracted, revealing extensive logs of unauthorized experiments and communications with higher-ranking officials within the Androxian coalition. As the dust settled, the implications became clear. The coalition's covert operation aimed to gain a strategic advantage by accelerating their own terraforming techniques, disregarding the ethical and ecological guidelines established by the task force. Ella addressed the Galactic Council, presenting the evidence. This operation was not only a breach of trust, but a direct threat to the integrity of our shared mission. We must hold those responsible accountable and ensure such actions are not repeated. The revelation sent shockwaves through the galactic community. The Androxian coalition faced severe sanctions, and their influence waned as other star systems rallied around the principles of cooperation and transparency. On New Gaia, the project continued, albeit with heightened security and oversight. The discovery of the rogue base served as a stark reminder of the delicate balance between ambition and ethics, progress and responsibility. Dr. Mara Kinley and her team resumed their work, introducing the first herds of adapted herbivores into the now flourishing ecosystems. The sight of these creatures thriving in their new home was a powerful symbol of what could be achieved through genuine collaboration. In the quiet moments, As Ella walked through the burgeoning forests of New Gaia, she reflected on the intricate dance of progress and politics. The path ahead would undoubtedly be fraught with challenges, but the resolve to create a better future, united by shared purpose and vision, remained unshaken. In the years following the discovery and neutralization of the Androxian base, New Gaia flourished into a beacon of interstellar cooperation. The planet had transformed from a barren landscape into a thriving ecosystem filled with diverse flora and fauna, each species carefully introduced and monitored to maintain ecological balance. Dr. Mara Kinley's work on genetic adaptation had yielded extraordinary results. The herbivores introduced to New Gaia not only survived but thrived, creating complex food webs that supported even more advanced life forms. Her success inspired new scientific endeavors across the galaxy, with multiple planets adopting similar approaches to terraforming and ecological restoration. At the same time, Ella Thompson's diplomatic efforts ensured that the principles of transparency and ethical consideration remained at the forefront of these projects. The Galactic Council, influenced by the events on New Gaia, established stricter regulations and oversight for all terraforming activities, preventing any recurrence of the Androxian incident. A grand celebration was planned to commemorate the 10th anniversary of Project Gaia's initiation. Representatives from every corner of the galaxy gathered on New Gaia, now a symbol of unity and progress. The Great Meadow, a vast, lush expanse that had once been a desolate plain, was chosen as the venue. It was adorned with colorful banners and holographic displays showcasing the planet's incredible transformation. The celebration began with a series of speeches from key figures. Ella Thompson took the stage, her presence commanding yet warm. 10 years ago, we embarked on an ambitious project, she began, her voice carrying over the assembled crowd. New Gaia represents not just a scientific triumph, but a triumph of unity. Together we have proven that cooperation transcends borders, species, and galaxies. Dr. Mara Kinley followed, sharing her scientific journey and the breakthroughs achieved. This planet stands as a testament to what we can accomplish when we combine our knowledge and resources. New Gaia is alive, thriving, and growing every day, thanks to our collective efforts. As the speeches concluded, a series of holographic displays projected scenes from New Gaia's development. The audience watched in awe as barren landscapes turned green, as waters teemed with life, and as skies filled with birds. The sight was a powerful reminder of the progress made and the potential for future endeavors. The highlight of the celebration was the unveiling of a monument dedicated to the pioneers of Project Gaia. Crafted from a blend of materials from various worlds, it symbolized the unity of different species working towards a common goal. At its base, a plaque read, "In unity, we thrive." As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the great meadow, a symphony of sounds filled the air. Musicians from multiple planets performed together, their instruments creating a harmonious blend of melodies that reflected the diversity of the galaxy. The music was accompanied by a light show, with beams of color dancing across the sky, synchronized to the rhythm of the symphony. In a quiet moment, amidst the celebration, Ella Thompson and Dr. Mara Kinley stood together, looking out over the crowd and the transformed landscape. "We've come a long way," Mara said, her voice filled with pride. "And we have a long way to go," Ella replied, her eyes reflecting the lights of the celebration. "But with what we've achieved here, I believe anything is possible." The night continued with joy and reflection, as beings from different worlds shared stories, ideas, and dreams. The success of New Gaia had not only rejuvenated a planet, but had also sparked a new era of collaboration and understanding across the galaxy. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, they stood as silent witnesses to the dawn of a new era, one where the spirit of cooperation could transform worlds and create a brighter future for all.